like Disney-esque style, because in the opening you do see the book, the classic Disney book opening. I believe it was more of a storybook vibe that Lydia wanted, and honestly I think it really added to animatic. Okay, so in step 1, I needed to create the draft. I needed to research about Joan of Arc. I needed to put myself in the mind of Joan of Arc and her story. It really is a passion project. The Woods is honestly such an amazing album, and even though Joan is my favorite, Don't Cry for Your Daughter's Eve and Are You Listening is one of my favorite songs like ever right now, which will probably get an animatic very soon. If I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of lost in the beginning. I knew what we were trying to do was set up a piece of like, who was Joan of Arc in today's standards, like how has she changed throughout history depending on like who's telling the story. And a phrase that Loki uttered to me was just like, the story is always written by the winners. It's always written by the English. It's always written by the French. I found it interesting how Joan of Arc was supposed to be depicted in various media. I leaned more into presenting her as this child, and in early sketches I wanted to design Joan of Arc as a teenager. She was very young when she went to war in France. She was very young when she heard the voices of God or these other saints. I did a lot of research on this project, and including watching Bill and Ted's Amazing Adventure. And if you've not watched Bill and Ted's Amazing Adventure, it's basically about these like two guys, and they need to like do a school project on history, and so they go back in time to get all the historical figures, and they bring back Joan of Arc. And I actually used her as inspiration for what I wanted my Joan to look like, because Joan of Arc is always depicted with blonde hair, black hair, short hair, long hair. Like it varies. It's very like diversified. There's never really a clear depiction of her. Like she's famously known for her black bob, but like she was depicted as like short blonde hair at some point. And I also used inspiration from epic rap battles of history in that one frame. But no, I generally divulge myself into like Joan of Arc media. I made an edit while trying to get a visual idea of what I wanted the song to look like in an edit, and how I wanted others to like use it. And I think the outcome for the visuals was really good. I actually watched old Disney documentaries behind the scenes of like how they studied, how they one that stood out to me was the Mulan behind the scenes footage. They really took the time to researching the art style of like old Chinese like illustrations, and like even for like Hercules and like other Disney films. It's like it was really inspiring to see that, and I took a lot of inspiration for that for Joan of Arc, and it led me to taking very old biblical illustrations of different figures and using that as inspiration for like various paintings in Joan of Arc's animatic. And I did watch a lot, even though Lydia DeBard, she did give me some details behind Joan of Arc, and I did use that to my advantage. However, I did watch also Joan of Arc movies. I watched many TikTok reels. I made an edit. I just like looked through a ton of fan art. How do the people see Joan of Arc today in Twitter and TikTok and Instagram? Like I went through a lot of fan art of Joan of Arc, and my favorite interpretation was Bill and Ted's, because of how I feel like it was tied more into her being a teenage girl. At the end of the day, I wanted to invoke that feeling of like this was a child who was taken advantage of, and she was burned at the stake, even though she was a savior to her people. And she was betrayed at the end of the day. She really was. And I really wanted people to see that she, like, there's some subtle hints throughout the animatic that she's going to be betrayed. I think it was the scene where she's riding on a horse like a priest some nights are overlooking her. That is like a subtle hint. In the scene where Are You Scared of Me, there's a priest and an English priest and a knight just like overlooking her. And throughout the animatic, you do see that she's like being watched, like her actions are always being like supervised and filtered. Another aspect I liked about JOAN was the tone. I really liked the song. Like, I sung it during like doing laundry when I was working on it, because I worked on this animatic, as you see here, for 40 hours. 40, I think it was 48 hours, if I'm not mistaken. 48 hours. Now, that might not seem a lot, but you have to think, I started this animatic, I was commissioned to do this in May, and I finished around November. So that's like, it's a lot, it's a while, it's definitely a while. And also editing it and not counting for the fact of like small lyrics, I did the captions myself. So, you know, being able to work on this project, to work with Lady of the Bard again, after the Rapunzel villain song, it's such an honor. And it, like, I know it's like very sappy, but I think the message is very clear. The message is very impactful. It is no doubt in my mind that she will do something amazing in the next couple of years because of how much work she puts into her, like her songs, her animatics. It's like, it's such an honor to work with her. But like, I did sketches, I drew JOAN almost literally every day to like get into the character. We love Joan of Arc, and I love making this. And if another artist wants me to draw another historical figure, oh yeah. Okay, bye.